Alright, let's begin. So the last thing they cover on the engine side is the visualizer and the screen log. So the visualizer is set up as a singleton. It has the ability to visualize Bspheres, and it has a command pool and factory system built into it to process the different, to recycle the Bsphere commands. So it has an attorney to pass things through into the kitchen and also to the Bsphere commands to return them once they're done. So for the kitchen, it has the visualize call and the unload call. Visualize is done during the draw stage, and unload is called during the unload resources stage. For the visualizer itself, when it's defined, we create a singular wireframe sphere. So up here, this is one sphere. There's no more than one. When it's time to visualize a Bsphere, say by the frigate calling it to determine when it collides, to determine which Bsphere to render, or just for when the cube always has the same visualizer to visualize over here. Regardless of it, they will pass in their Bsphere and what color they want to visualize with. So the visualizer will check to see if the Bsphere pool is empty. If the command pool is empty, it will make a new command. If it's not empty, it will take from the front of the command pool and pop that off of the pool list so that it's not edited at all. It takes the Bsphere command that either created or recycled and will initialize it based on the center point, the radius of the Bsphere, the color the user requested, and the wireframe sphere before pushing it into the active command queue. So for the Bsphere, for the visualize command, it's just a call that says do visualize. For Bspheres, they have do visualize as well as a center, color, radius, and graphic object. So when we initialize the Bsphere command, we set the center, color, radius, and graphic object. When it is time to visualize, which once again is happening in the draw stage over here, we will be going through our command queue and doing the visualization for each command. So for the Bsphere commands, when we visualize, we create a world matrix using the radius and the center point for the Bsphere, set the world of the wireframe sphere, set the color, and then render it using the current camera. And once that's done, we return this command back to its command pool through the attorney. Once again, we return this all the way over here. So for visualizing, we return it and push it back into the command pool. Once that's all done, we pop it off of the current active command list and move on to the next. When we unload the visualizer and the unload content, we delete the singular wireframe sphere, and then we also will delete all of our commands from the command pool, all the Bsphere commands from the Bsphere command pool. And then we delete the pointer instance, and that's everything. So for the testing. So for the frigate, as we showed before, it has a call for visualizing Bspheres here. So if I do 5 of them, as you can see, all 5 of them are using the same sphere, because all of these will be going here. If I go into this, visualizing the Bsphere, we're reusing our commands and we're reinitializing them. And when we're rendering, if I just skip ahead to go to here, if I go to this point for the visualization, we can see that, where's it? Watch. All of these commands are using the same graphic object. If I quickly pop all these out, you can see that the graphic object is XO95. Going down again, we got XO95 to the next one, XO95, XO95, and XO95. So they're using the same Bsphere every single time. Okay. Next, for the screen log, once again, singleton with its own attorney. We can set the font and anchor point, and then we can add a log to it to push in. This also is using a command pool system as well. And then we have some things that are passed through an attorney. So if we go over to the attorney, we can see that we have rendering of the log, which is done during the draw stage. We have the render log up here. And then we also have the unload, which is done down here in the unload content. So for the actual code here, we have setting the font as well as setting the anchor point. Adding a log, we will take in whatever string the user requested. We will convert any arguments. So like if they were passing in variables, like say for the cube, trying to pass in its y value over here with its y value, doing the %f here. So we go back to here. So it will be passing all of that. It will convert the arguments into a full string and then make the temporary string to be whatever the current debuff is. If the command pool is empty, we will create a new screen log command with all of those parameters. Otherwise, we will be taking the front of the command pool, pop it, and then reinitialize it before shoving it into the active commands. So to hop back for one last time, screen log command has all the data here. When we create a new one, we will be passing in the font string x, y, and then we'll be creating a sprite string with that data. If we initialize, instead of creating a sprite string, we'll just update the current sprite string instead. Then rendering is rendering, and deleting it when we are done with the command. So when we render, we go through our command pool, our active commands, excuse me. We take whatever's at the front, render it, push it into the pool, and then remove it from the active commands before moving to the next one. And then when we unload content, we have to empty both the active commands and also the command pool. So just to quickly showcase, if I were to go to swap scenes, we can see that as I move up, we can see that we are updating the screen log for the cube and getting its Y value. I know, again, I didn't do this properly, that we're supposed to be converting the point to a point from the 3D space onto a XY pixel location. I did not have time to do that conversion, so right now this is just a proof of concept to show that you can update the screen log's position and also the value inside of it. No leaks. That is everything.